You're listening to WITZ, the WITZ, the one place for all things music, right here in Douglas County, Oregon. This recording is brought to you by the Gene Bechtel School for Music, the Gene Bechtel School, an outstanding conservatory of music right here in Roseburg, Oregon, under the direction of Dr. Michael Wheeler. This broadcast is also brought to you by the Douglas County Music Association. The Douglas County Music Association. We're here to help. If you're looking for musical work, do you need a scholarship, or just trying to find an instrument, contact the DCMA today. Well, let's start with some older news. We've had a lot of events in the last week. I know it was Veterans Day last Friday, but there was an amazing concert brought to you by the UCC Concert Band, and I really want to thank Mr. Trevor Thompson for conducting the UCC Band. I also want to thank Dr. Jason Heald for arranging the event. Special guests for that concert last week were the Bone Dogs, a trombone ensemble with 4 members, and it's really nice to see small ensemble music becoming prevalent in Douglas County. Other older events. Now, you probably don't know Jeff Reed, but Jeff Reed is a musician that has some music coming out soon. Check him out on our Facebook page. Also, Tori Rose did a show all the way out in Reedsport. You heard it. There's a new Too Shy Brewing connection in Reedsport. Tori Rose, one of our teachers at the Gene Bechtel School, did a show all the way out there from 6 to 8. Outstanding work, Tori. Nice job. Some other older events, just to review, the Roseburg Marching Ensemble. There are some videos on the Facebook page. We had a comment. Someone asked, how did the RHS band do last weekend at Autzen Stadium? Now, that wasn't last weekend. That was a few weekends ago. But they placed 11th. That's really good for Roseburg. Roseburg continues to do better every single year at these big festivals. So outstanding Roseburg High School Marching Band. You're probably wondering, Mr. Hurwitz, sir, how come we don't hear very much about the RHS choirs? Well, I haven't seen anything yet. If you want me to talk about whatever you want me to talk about, try to reach out. Go send me a message on our Facebook page. Let me know what you want to see. If you know of a musical artist or a group or an event and you want me to talk about it, all you have to do is go to our Facebook page and try to send me a message. Super easy. Try to get in touch with me. Let me know if you want me to promote your show. Now, things that keep happening every week. I've already talked about the Canyonville Farmers Market quite a few times. We have a new group that's going to be showing up there. Oh, that was a Wednesday, which was, this recording is taking place on Thursday, the 17th. So this is considered old news. I didn't get to this in time. But every Wednesday, the Canyonville Farmers Market has music. And last week, or actually technically yesterday, there was a group called Jen Ambrose. That's JenAmbrose. Jen Ambrose. Looks like the picture that I see here is a young lady with an acoustic guitar, probably folk music, but I couldn't be certain. Try to check out Jen Ambrose and see what she's playing next. Also, I want to talk about something that's coming up real soon. The North 40 Beer Company. Again, I've talked about this quite extensively, but the North 40 Beer Company is putting on shows almost every single week, including open mics. Hey, Thursday, that would be today, right? Thursday, there is an open mic at North 40 Beer Company featuring Eric Schnautz. Now, Eric Schnautz is a really good friend of mine. His daughter, Christina, is a fabulous musician too, and she was actually in my classroom for quite a few years. The Schnautz family is incredibly talented. Go check out the North 40 Beer Company's open mic this Thursday. Sign-ups start at 6 o'clock. Here are some upcoming events that are coming up soon. This Saturday, when I say this, depending on when you listen to the podcast or the broadcast, today's day is November the 17th. So we're talking about this Saturday at 1 p.m. Looking at my calendar here, I believe that would be the 19th. That's right, November the 19th. The Sunny Sky Boys are going to be playing at the Oakland Sip and Stroll. What is that? Well, let's find out. Reading here, it says zip, skip, trip, slip. Wow. To the Sip and Stroll in Oakland, Oregon Historic District on Saturday the 19th from noon, that's 12 p.m., to 5 p.m. That's a 5-hour block. Lots of goodies, sales, wine tasting, and businesses. Oakland singers will be strolling around with cheerful music. Dr. Jason Hill will also be playing at the Triple Oak Wine Vault. And then, of course, Sunny Sky Boys at the Oakland Sip and Stroll. Come check out all this music in Oakland. That's Saturday, November the 19th from 12 to 5 p.m. in Oakland, Oregon, right here in Douglas County. Amazing. And now for our feature presentation. Now, I actually haven't talked about myself that much. It's true. Now, the point of this nonprofit, the point of this broadcast is to share information with our residents. It's not necessarily about me, but as the founder and owner of the nonprofit, maybe I should share a little bit about myself for those of you who don't know me that well. Now, my name is Colin Horowitz, last name spelled Hurowitz. You wonder where I got the name for the broadcast. I am particularly passionate about music. I'm actually from this area. I was born in California, but I didn't live there very long. We moved up to Lake Oswego when I was about 1 year old. Lived there. Then we moved down to Roseburg, and we lived in Roseburg for another 1 or 2 years. Then we finally moved to Sutherland. So I'm a Douglas County boy. It's true. I spent most of my childhood at the Sutherland School District at East Primary, West Intermediate, and you guessed it, the middle and high school. When I was a junior in high school, actually it was the summer before I became a junior, I went to a music festival and I just played a drum that I saw. It was like an African band. And somebody came up to me and said, "Why don't you play for Roseburg?" And I was shocked. I was like, "What? Didn't know that was an option." He's like, we're going to have to figure that out. And so my junior year of high school, I transferred to Roseburg High School and played in the Roseburg High School marching band, where I got a lot of inspiration. I loved playing that marching band music and being with hundreds of kids that wanted to be there. And Sutherland School District isn't that big. We just didn't have a large band. And I wanted to be in a large band, so we figured it out. I spent my last 2 years at Roseburg High School, finished my degree. You'll never guess. I actually went into the Marine Corps. That's right. I was really bored with school and life. And I was like, what's a really hard thing that not a lot of people do? The Marines sound fun. I heard of this thing called the Marine Band, and I was very excited. Let's do that. So I joined the Marine Band, played in the Marine Corps Band for about 4 years. Well, your entire first year in the Marine Corps is just training. I know. What? It's true. Then 3 years in the fleet playing music, playing shows, 400 shows a year on average. So I have a lot of performance experience. Once I got out of the Marine Corps, I decided I wanted to become an educator. I wanted to be a music teacher. I went to the University of Oregon, and I spent 5 years studying there. I have 2 bachelor's degrees in music, including one in percussion performance and music education. And then, of course, my master's degree is a Master of Music in music education. So I spent a lot of time studying music and music teaching philosophy and theory. Right after that, but the whole time all of this is happening, I'm playing shows. I've played at many big theaters, especially in Eugene and in Cottage Grove. I've done a lot of freelance work. I've traveled. I've taught at many different schools in Oregon. Even when I was in the Marine Corps, I was teaching. We do these tours, and I would teach high school kids. I would do shows, a lot of solo work. Even when I was in high school, I was a state champion in multi-percussion. Here's a fun story. Why not? So I actually qualified in all 5 categories of percussion. So that's multiple percussion, mallets, timpani, rudimental snare drum, and orchestral snare drum. I qualified in all 5 categories. But like a doofus, I was like, what if I just learned all new pieces in all 5 categories? So it was an abysmal failure. I was not successful. I could have competed in all 5 categories, maybe even won 1 or 2 or even 3. But because of my foolishness, I basically only competed in 1. I did win multi-percussion, but I could have gone so much further if I'd have just been a little smarter. So don't make the same mistake that I made. Your final question, you're probably wondering, sir, why did you start this nonprofit? Douglas County has had a void for many years. Someone who needs to focus on local music. We love Clint Newell, and we love music at the Half Shell, and we love all of these bars and taverns and things in town with all of these shows But here's the thing. That's not enough. There are still tons of musicians in Douglas County that are looking for gigs, and there are still tons of untapped opportunities for us. We are trying to raise money to support local art. We want to put on more shows. We want to fund festivals. We want to hire musicians. We want to teach kids how to music. We also want to provide scholarships to students. We need so much money so that we can give all of these scholarships. We just want to give them away. Anybody who wants to attend maybe a band camp or a theater camp, anybody who wants to go to university for music, you come to our nonprofit and apply for a scholarship. The more money that we raise, the more scholarships we can just give away. And of course, the more money we raise, the more concerts we can put on, the more people we can hire to do all of this stuff. Wouldn't that just be fabulous if we had so much money that we could put on all of these shows and support all of these scholarships? But that's not all. Even kids in need in Douglas County, not just Roseburg, but all 13 towns in Douglas County, including Camas Valley, Myrtle Creek, Yoncalla, Rice Hill, all those sort of a town, but I don't think they have a school or anything. But we want to help everybody in Douglas County, all artists of all calibers with anything, instruments, lessons, transportation, opportunity. We want to create these things for you. The only thing we have right now is a Venmo to donate. That Venmo is at Oregon DCMA. I'll say it again. That's at Oregon DCMA. And you can give today. If we got $10 from every person in Douglas County, we'd have enough money to run our program for at least 2 years. I just checked the numbers. There are over 80,000 registered voters in Douglas County alone, and that doesn't include unregistered voters. So we probably have a lot more people in this area than you think we might. And if we got $10 from every person, there's nothing we couldn't do for the first 2 years. We'll obviously need people to give every year to continue our focus, but I don't want people to give thinking they're not going to get anything out of it. So stay tuned for more announcements from the nonprofit, the Douglas County Music Association, on scholarships, performance opportunities, and so much more. Before we go, just a couple more notes. So we're still working on our logo. That should be coming up pretty soon. I'm very excited to have a very professionally looking logo for our nonprofit so we can start printing pamphlets and business cards and start going to businesses and letting them know what we're trying to do. We need support from the local people. So we're going to go out and do that really soon. Also, we're going to change. Right now, the mailing address for our nonprofit is my P.O. box. Or not my P.O. box, but my home mailing address. And now I'm starting to get some weird junk mail at my house. So we're looking into getting a P.O. box or changing our mailing address so we can receive checks from people or money order, or, maybe even letters. People who want to apply can send in an application. Also, the applications for scholarships are also being created. And I am actually currently trying to find musicians to come play in Douglas County, including piano players, professional marimba players, and full ensembles. All of this costs money, and it's all difficult. So we need help from you so we can get students and families and folks on stage playing music. We want to support the musicians and artists of Douglas County, Oregon. We will not have a broadcast next week due to the holiday. Please enjoy some time off with your families. Please check out local shows in the area, or just stay home and drink hot cocoa. Tis the season, they say, even though we're starting a little early. I hope you all have a restful week. You will not hear from me next week. We'll have a new broadcast with a new guest. That's right. We'll also have Miss Davis back. We'll have Ariel back. And we'll have our next guest interview with Mr. Jake Tranter, an outstanding filmmaker who runs Spider King Studios right here in Roseburg, Oregon. That's all the time we have left for today. Really appreciate you listening today. Any questions, find me on the Facebook page. Send me a message. Let me know what you want to hear. Let me know what's going on in your town. We'll not see you next week, but we'll see you in 2 weeks. Until next time, bye, everyone.